Welcome to the Not Nerd Podcast. My name is Dave Baylor, and we're here to help you tech better. And here with me, as always, Mr. Nate Heath. How are you, my friend?
Wow, I am good. I am good. That is a nice little hat you got on there.
Yeah, it's just a little something I came up with.
Yeah.
Uh, you know what? Trucker hats or netback hats are kind of my thing. And
Oh,
indeed,
okay.
I have a collection. Oh, wait,
Oh,
I thought I was you there for a minute.
yeah. We got really confused. Yeah, I
Yeah,
figured I ordered these a while ago and had them in there, and I figured what better time to bust them out than the Quadcenticast?
yeah,
And you
totally.
might notice I'm not wearing a plaid shirt. I decided to
Mm,
spiff it up a little bit
whoa.
and
I
wear a
wondered if you were going to
tuxedo.
be wearing that. It's too bad you can't really see it
I
there.
know. I'll just sit like, is that good angle?
Yeah, just keep doing that. That's great. Hey, I did want to do a shout out to those who submitted some videos for us to watch and some tips and some congrats. But if you're there in the live chat, be sure to let Nate know if there's any. And actually, I'm going to try something here live on air. So for those of
Ooh,
you listening afterwards, if everything goes to heck, you'll know why. There is
yes.
a way to look at the chat window where I'm at, but I don't know where it's at. So uh,
Yes, I am
talk among
keeping
yourself.
an eye on it. Wes saying, I remember being a kid growing up listening to you guys gathered around the old iPad with the entire family listening, and Chris
Yep,
with the sweet merch, Yedip with the happy 400th, Dr. RP VHS with the triple. Oh, I thought those were turkeys.
oh,
What the
careful.
is that? It's some
But
sort of hand grab
eggplants?
emoji I've never seen before.
What does three eggplants mean?
Yes. And Chelsea with the woohoo, congrats. So, yes,
Well, thank you.
400 episodes of this podcast. That means my wife and a few other people have listened to nearly 400 hours of us. And Dave, I did,
That's
besides
crazy.
the hats, I should have let you borrow a tuxedo t shirt because I
Hmm.
do have your people are going to be surprised. Make sure you're sitting down. I have more than one tuxedo t-shirt.
Wow. And I actually thought about and forgot because I, of course, to the very last minute was trying to get things working.
Yes.
Um, the my Star Trek shirt with the
Oh,
looks like Captain Kirk, and it would have matched my hat nicely. I just, that's kind of what I use to dress up, as
yes.
one does. But
Yes. And
yes,
Todd is
you're
asking how many hours of the show has Val listened to?
probably less than a minute, and I've got to
Hey,
say,
she's here.
she
Val
is.
has joined us. Way to go, nerds.
Thank you. And Nate, you're looking a little chunky on my end. I don't know if that's the case
Oh, am I doing
elsewhere.
some sort of? It's probably because the girls downstairs. No, Backblaze. I checked Backblaze before
Those guys.
because one backup is none backup.
Oh, hold on. That's right, Nate. You can't move forward unless you back up. Behold, power of
Yeah, so I literally checked it just before we went live, and it said no files to back up. I'm
hmm.
just sitting here doing nothing.
Yeah.
So
Don't
change
ever
that
trust a.
setting to the only when I click the backup button, which I don't recommend because you will never remember to click the backup button.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
usually have it on the continuous. And Chris let us know one cannot have enough tuxedo T-shirts. But first, we've got something special. I gave Dave one, but before that, I just want to thank you, Dave, for all of the pre-work, for all the videos were submitted. We have got a ton of show for you today, including all of the pickets of the week are not ours. They are submitted videos. So settle in, stick around. This will be available on YouTube after and your
This is going to
favorite
be a long
podcast
one,
app.
Miss Val, who's watching for the
Yes,
first
you
time,
picked the
maybe
right
ever.
one to start listening.
5 or 6
Uh,
hours later, we'll be done.
yes. Oh, and Chelsea was congratulating me on fixing the AC, though.
Oh,
I don't know if I mentioned it last week's episode, but today I finally fixed our AC, so our house is cooling artificially at the moment, which is nice. But Dave, why don't you grab your
I'm so,
special
I'm working on my zoom in here. So
zooming? Why don't you
yeah,
fix your zoom?
there we go. Got it. Oh, and yes, you purchased something for me. Should I show the audience
Yes,
or?
let us. I bought
Oh,
us a little sparkling wine. It does not come from the Champagne region of France. And
ah,
I bought these ones. It had some nice foil because I thought it actually had a cork on top, but it is a fake twist off cork. So we don't get
lame.
the popping, put an eye out that I was
Yes.
hoping for. But Dave,
Oh, cheers,
congratulations.
clink.
Oh, let's
Oh, let's
pour
clink our
first.
glasses.
Oh,
Look at
right onto
this.
the keyboard.
And for those of you who are into wine glasses, today I will be featuring the the 10th anniversary of the wine tasting for a group that we used to attend.
Yes.
Wine
Okay.
tasting. All right, ready? Clank.
Clank.
Good thing I've got a
Let's
monitor
try
cover
this
there.
out. It is a fine Lamarco Prosecco,
That is the
product of
real
old.
stuff right there.
Yes.
You know, I probably should have told you this earlier, but I'm not supposed to be having alcohol. I could just keel over dead, but I mean, that's
Oh,
okay.
yeah, yeah. I was
That
going
would
to
be
get us
exciting.
each like the half-gallon bottles to make the show really interesting, but I figured I'd go with the small ones instead.
Is there any way we can link arms? And it looks like Valerie, if you're listening, someone is at our door. Oh, there she is. Okay, she got it. It's something I was hoping to get in time for the podcast.
Oh,
It's the UPS driver, I think.
never fails, never fails.
No,
Well,
just real time update. No, no, this is more exciting. I wish I could
oh,
switch to my. That's what
door
I'm gonna
cam.
do. I'm gonna do to my
Yeah,
door cam.
let's
They
get the
delivered it to the
overhead
wrong
cam.
address, is what it sounds like, and
Oh,
so I didn't get the little things I wanted. But that's okay. You can still
real-time
see me.
updates.
And Nate, I must say you are looking fabulous now. So problem
Oh,
resolved. Well, that was
good,
fun.
good.
Thank you. Let's move
And
on
my
to the next.
quality, video quality is improved.
Yeah.
Welcome in, Melissa. My sister-in-law has joined us with a
Hmm.
cheers emoji.
And real time update. We got
We got a package.
we got a package from the door we were watching on the.
This was not planned ahead.
Yeah, not planned ahead, but that was perfect timing. Thank you, Val. You better run out and start watching it again, unless you want to make an appearance. Do you want to be on the podcast? Just lean in here. The camera's right there. Yes? No? Do you want to lean? Do you want to see the podcast? No, she's just
She's
smiling.
out.
What is she doing?
She's got to get
Uh,
back out there to watch it. She
I
doesn't
think
want to
the
miss
problem
a
is that she
second.
was listening to it tape delayed by.
There
Oh, there
she
she is. There
is.
she is. She
Oh,
just
yeah,
heard
she's
me.
got the AirPod in,
Yeah.
which, yes, will throw you off by a million miles.
Yes. Thank you. That was sweet. She even joined me. That was something else.
This is momentous, momentous. Well, we should probably at some point get
Start the
started
show.
on some content. And we're going to start off. We've got a couple messages from listeners. First, we're going to start off with you, Chris K. And he wrote, "Congrats on another milestone. I think I've been listening regularly for the last 4 to 5 years. As of
Wow.
July 27th, recently, I'm fully in the Apple ecosystem. My Windows PC crashed hard. It was 12 years old, so I took the leap and picked up a Mac Mini. I wouldn't have entertained Apple products had it not been for you and Dave in the Not Nerd podcast. Now I'm an enthusiast, especially after seeing how well they work together and so very consistently. Thanks again for what you do and keep it up." So thank
Great.
you for that, Chris, and thank you for always trying to join us live and commenting and chiming in and all that good stuff. And
Yeah.
next up, we've got our first video from friend of the show, Wes.
All right. Now this is going to be a test. I hope that all goes well. I'm going to click
Yes,
it and we'll see if you cannot hear the video at home. Please let us know and we
yeah.
will be sad for you. But here is Wes.
I don't always take my shirt off for not nerd, but I do for the 400th episode. Congratulations, Dave and Dave. I'm gonna go cool off.
Oh, Nate, you're behind that video. All right.
Yes.
That was fun.
Oh,
And
it didn't give the pro tip, did it? Because it was me behind it
it was you
instead.
behind. That's okay. Here,
Pro tip: vertical video is bad. Just for
yeah,
you, Dave.
that was, yeah. So I had intended to put the notes along, well, let me switch my view here. I had intended to put the notes along the side so that it said
Yes.
vertical video is lame or not cool. But you know what? This is a live show. This is what happens in live
Yes.
programming
Yeah,
when you
you
do
get
stuff
me in the
last minute.
background instead.
Yeah, I was like, "Hey Nate, should we put our audio and video so that they can hear us talk?" And he's like, "Sure." And did I think that that would happen? I didn't test it. Come
Yeah,
on.
yes. And Wes said, I shot it vertical for Dave. And Chris
Hmm.
said, and you took your shirt off for Nate.
Yeah.
So,
I was going to put little sensors over the
yes,
upper torso, but I didn't have time. So,
no time for that. Well, this is a very different episode than usual, but there is one segment that people could not go without. So it is time for just the headlines.
all right.
Okay, here we go. Apple hits 1 billion with a B paid subscriptions. Woman's AI bionic arm is fitted after tube near death experience. US scientists repeat fusion power breakthrough for a second time.
Believe it when I see it.
US Air Force builds 5 billion with a B dollar climate resistant base of the future with robot dogs and AI security.
Money well spent.
Spyware maker LetMeSpy shuts down after hacker deletes server data. Yes. Threads user count falls to new lows, highlighting retention challenges.
Yes.
Excel's esports revolution is coming back to ESPN this week.
Excel like the spreadsheet?
Yes, yes. Live
What?
spreadsheet competitions on ESPN for their special
Oh,
ESPN The Ocho week. You will be able to watch, I believe it's Friday morning, live spreadsheeting.
wow.
Well, spreadsheeting, competitive spreadsheeting. You got to be
I,
careful with that one, especially
yeah.
after some Lamarca on ESPN. So
Okay.
check
Well,
that out.
I would like to learn more about that, but this is just the headlines. Okay.
Okay, well, as we eternally switch things up in this episode, we have got some, it might be the most pro tipping advice we've ever given from both us and from ChatGPT. It's going to be jam packed, but because of that, we're going to move up in front. Your picks of the week.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah. I don't
And
have the echo thing.
we have 4 pick of the week video and then a very special segment after that.
Okay.
So
Who are we going to start with? Chelsea? Is that
we're
who we're going
going
to
to
start with?
start out with my wife, Chelsea.
All right, and here she goes.
Hello, this is Chelsea with a pick of the week for the Not Nerd podcast. This is First Breeze laundry detergent eco sheets, and I've been using them for probably the last year and a half. Very happy with them. The reason I started using them was because I like the idea that it cut down on plastic waste, and now I realize there are a lot of other benefits. They come to me each month. I just sign up for a subscription, and they'll come when I need them, so I don't have to worry about purchasing laundry detergent at the store. And they also do a lot of good for the world beyond the environmental factors. They give back to communities in need by providing cleaning products for them. So every time you buy, you're also donating to a good cause. But basically, this is one sheet you put in your wash machine. You can use a whole sheet if it's like a big load or a pretty soiled load, or you can tear it in half, and you can use just half if it's a smaller load. And so I did a little math, and Nate can check me on this. But if it says that you can get up to 60 loads, I would say that I usually use a full load. So I'm going to say that I get 40 loads out of each package of 60, and one of these costs $12, and I believe that that's about 30 cents a load. So if you want to compare that to your regular detergent, I haven't done a cost comparison because I just like the idea behind this company, and I also like that it comes in fragrance free. There's another scent as well, like fresh scent or something, if you like a scent, but They're super easy, convenient, and they're helping the environment. So if you're interested in that, I would highly recommend these guys. And they also do the job. I haven't noticed any difference as far as how clean my clothes get. So I'm very happy with them. Thanks, and congrats to Nate and Dave on 400 episodes. Bye.
Okay, so did the echo stop after you talked to me?
Todd did say you fixed it. We had many listeners thing, but Todd mentioned that we should give a special kudos to your wife, who commented after a few others and said, "Echo what the other fans are saying." Nice pun work there.
Oh, that was clever. Now
Yes,
I got it.
she
I
needs to
don't.
come on the episode.
Here's the
Maybe when
thing.
you retire.
Because I don't want her to get too big of a head, I don't compliment her very often. I try to keep her down. But man, she's really smart and really quick-witted. So, but nobody tell. Oh shoot! I wonder if she's still watching. Well,
Yeah, you have to watch
anyway,
yourself this episode.
this one time, I will compliment her. So, cheers, my lovely wife.
Yes,
And she is
yes,
quite
indeed.
lovely.
Well, next up we have a video from Mike Peterson.
So, here's what happened, Nate, is adding you and I's voiceover to the
Oh, to
to
the
the things
videos.
really wrecked it. So I'm going to switch over here real quick, and I will mute myself so it may be echo for a second. So Mike Peterson is up, and here he goes.
Hello, not nerd. Congratulations on 400 episodes. Today I've got an app recommendation for you guys. Back in the day, Nate and I used to play disc golf all the time before smartphones were really a thing. Well, I've gotten back into disc golfing again, and there's actually a really cool app for disc golf now called UDisc. It's great for finding courses around you. It's got a map that populates a list of courses that are around you. It gives you details, reviews on those courses, and gives you an idea of what you're getting into. And then when you're actually out on the course too, it helps you navigate the course, which is great because disc golf courses can be notorious for being difficult to navigate your first time through. So again, congrats on the 400th episode, and I'll see you again at episode 500.
Yes, yes. Todd did say the cutaways are pretty leggy, but didn't know what the purpose is on that. But yeah, I am not sure, Todd. Let us know on that. But yeah, we've got all these videos, all these great pics. And next up, we've got one from Down Under from Mr. Eliot.
All right, friends, check this out. It's the U55 micro speaker. I got mine in rose gold because I'm quite fancy. But the speaker comes out the top there, charges a little rig right there, little on button there, connects super easy. And I like to carry it around because some of the content that I do, and I want to show somebody something, the sound or whatever, or music that comes out of my little iPhone, it just really annoys me. And so this little speaker for like 25 bucks, and it's just a champion, and fits in a bowl real good for the better sound. That's the way we party when we're camping, is we'll just stick this in a pot, or like my camp oven, and it resonates the good sound. Anyway, U55 micro, dude, what a great little number.
Nice. Chris
Okay, so
said we had no Dave. I don't know if your audio has come back, but
yeah, it should be back now. I had to turn it down because that's what was causing the echo.
gotcha.
So
Yeah, the U55 speaker with the pro tip of when you're camping to put it in a pan or a pot or something to get some echo. But that looks like a nice compact little speaker. I might have to pick one of those up.
yeah, I think that's pretty cool. So the submission so far, we've got a dryer, or not a dryer sheet, a
A
laundry
laundry
detergent
sheet, yeah.
sheet thing, which blows my mind. And we got a little mini speaker, and I was looking at those speakers, and they look pretty dang cool. He sent us the link. We'll have to include that in the show
Yes,
notes.
yes, they will all be on notpicks.com, all of our picks. There's going to be a lot of guest picks to put on there, but any of that stuff you want, you'll be able to go pick. Ooh,
Sorry
we've
about
got
that.
Triple Nate.
Yeah.
Well, next up, we have got a video from friend of the show, Jared.
Hey, Not Nerd, Jared here. Congratulations on 400 episodes. That's really fantastic. I've loved everything you've shared with us over the years. Keep it up. You're doing a great job. Love it. My pick of the week this week is a social gaming network called Channel 3 Gaming. Something I came across about a year ago, and it's been really fun getting back into gaming more than I normally would have played before. Gaming with people that I wouldn't have met otherwise. As with any other social network, posting memes and fun stuff that you find. But they also have events that you can participate in, which really helps them stand out. Events like Rocket League and Fortnite, Mario Kart, Mario Golf, Fall Guys, all sorts of different events. You can also go on and participate with quests, clips of the week, gaming photography, maybe a cool shot from a game that you're playing. Really cool place to share information like that. You can also challenge other players on the network to duels. You can earn some XP and upgrade your account, which can go towards potentially spinning a wheel for prizes. You can rate games. You can go on and you can buy gear if you want to help support them that way. T-shirts, hats, stickers, just a bunch of fun stuff. The really great thing about it is it's not a toxic social network. It's always positive. Everybody's on there just loving gaming. I'm pretty terrible at games, but there's no judgment. It's really fun. So if you haven't checked them out yet, do so. Channel 3 Gaming. GG's, everybody.
GG, for those uninitiated, means good game.
Yes.
Good game.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Jared, for that. Yeah, that looks like a cool resource and a non-toxic social network. I did not know that existed.
Yeah.
Well, for our last Your Picks of the Week, we have a very special guest. That
Is my wife coming back on?
yeah, she's got some divorce papers after some of those comments earlier. Surprise!
Yikes.
You are not the father.
She had those in the can ready to go just for the right
Yes.
moment.
Yes, but no, we have everybody's favorite guest. She's made a couple of appearances over the years, and our ratings go way up whenever she gets on camera. We should just hide ourselves and show her face and do our audio because
Yeah.
it would be way good. Yeah, Chris is guessing the UPS guy. Bring him on in. He's
All
got
right,
more
here he
packages
is,
for
our
you.
favorite
But
person.
coming in next to me, and I am going to also try something live here. I'm going to switch the audio so that she can actually, you can hear her, hopefully. And
yeah, I hear you, and I hear the room, so I think we're on.
Yeah. And there we go. Okay, come on in, our special guest.
Who is it? Oh,
Isla is here.
And I got my drink.
Yes, and she brought her own drink, nice little soda can, and she's got her trucker hat on there. Lean down a little bit so they can see that nice thing with a little pond on it. And Isla wanted to come on, and because it's our 400th episode, she wanted to do 4 different electronic toy picks. So let's get going. Isla, what's the first one? Okay.
Yeah. These guys, these are Littlest pet shops that run. They have little wheels, but this one's for some reason broken.
Oh, now he's even more broken.
Well, no, that's not the one that was broken. He's broken.
Well, hopefully he's not broken now.
So he.
Oh, over that camera there.
It's not turning on.
Uh-oh.
Okay. the wheels are supposed to spin and he'll kind of drive around, but I guess
he decided he got a little camera shy, decided not to work. Okay, and what next?
Tweet.
And
Tweet talk. Oh, wait, I have to turn her on. Say hello. Hello. Hey, everyone.
Little Tweety bird that'll talk back to you. So cool. And up next.
Okay, let me just turn her off. And
got those little guys. What are those guys?
They are a bunny and a cat. They are electric. I'll be showing you the bunny. So it comes with this little carrot bottle, and then the cat comes with this little fish bottle. But I'm gonna be taking care of the bunny. And she likes me. And she likes all of you.
That's
she
awesome.
got mad. Okay, good.
Okay, and then last but not least,
the biggest one. Be quiet. Toothless. Okay, let's see Toothless go with his top one where he does all his things. 7. Be quiet, bunny. That was him.
Nice. Well, those are some great toy picks. Is there anything else you want to say?
Subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming on and making our 400th episode special. And Mommy said 10 stars for cuteness. Oh, do you want to show your shirt real quick? Real quick before bring you back, Dave.
I'm gonna have to put my hood on.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a butterfly. Oh, butterfly. I'm supposed to have eyes on there, but.
Okay, well, butterfly, fly away.
And I'll probably be echoey while I'm waiting for the
audio to get switched back. Do you want to say anything to Isla real quick, even if it's...
Isla, I love all that stuff, and I'm always confused that Toothless has teeth, but I think they're retractable, right, in the movie? They can come in and out. So
yeah, that's a little weird. But...
That's a little weird.
Yeah.
Okay, let me switch my audio back so we can get back to...
Let's see if we can crash it.
Yes. Okay, oh, no.
No? Still there. This is riveting for those listening on the podcast later.
On the podcast.
They're just like,
switching
whoa.
it? Yeah, you got to head to YouTube for this one. We've got a lot of visual stuff.
Yeah.
Especially Isla and all of her cuteness there.
Oh, and it's time for a weather update. It is 9. Hold on. It is.
Geez.
Oh, it's only 83 degrees in the garage. So.
Oh.
I mean, my garoffice. What did Eliot call it? It's whatever it was. So 83. So if you notice I'm a little shiny, it's because of the heat.
Hair and makeup.
Actually, makeup. Can you? No, she's busy.
Come in and spritz you with some water and tell you off real quick.
She'll come in 37 seconds later because there's the delay. So.
Yes, indeed. Well. Thank you for all those picks of the week. That was awesome, and it was nice to be able to take a week off. We're actually, for the rest of the month of August, we're going to be doing already been picked August, where we're going to go back and look at some of our previous picks and highlight those, because, I mean, really, there has been so many great picks over the years that we need to go back and kind of repick some of those. I know we do it every once in a while, but the rest of August we'll be doing some already picked and highlighting some of those, which will be nice. And Todd says it's 83 degrees in his house.
Wow.
And yes, and Chelsea says, I almost just didn't survive a week with no AC. First
Yeah.
world problems.
And speaking of that, my fan is on. I hope that nobody can hear it droning in the background. So,
Hey, it's worth it for this episode. Need some ice in your sparkling wine.
yes, I need to take another sip of my beautiful,
Yes,
beautiful wine. Getting a little tipsy after that one drink.
it happens. Well, next up, we've been teasing this forever. We have used a couple of them. I think it started with maybe one of our camping tip episodes, and you brought it up several times. Always be charging.
Yep.
And then there was something else where we had a tip. So I'm just going to ring the bell a couple times now to let you know there's going to be a lot of tips coming up here.
So that's a pre-tip
A
bell.
pre-tip from Dave. Thank you again for the
That's
official pro tip bell of the Not Nerd podcast.
that thing is cast aluminum with spray paint
It,
gold or
yes, it
brass.
is. Hey, it rings. I need to start using that in my other meetings and
Oh,
just chiming in with that and say, you better listen up to this. I'm ringing my
mm-hmm.
bell.
Ding, ding,
Um,
ding, ding. Listen up.
yes, but we've come up with a couple of these always be, and we did it with some different letters. So I'm going to quickly go through these. Always be asking questions, always be backing up, always be charging, always be documenting, always be earning or entrepreneuring or engaging, always be friendly, always be generous or Googling or gaff taping,
Yes.
always be helping, always be ingenuous, always be learning.
Ingenious, I think.
Oh, ingenious. Yes. Well, ingenious or ingenuous. So, as
Yeah.
we go through these, if
Either
you
one.
guys have any ideas, always be updating or always be learning for L. Um, then we skip some more to always be updating, always be watching. Now, Dave, do you have a video to accentuate this point?
Yeah. In the world of aerial cinematography using drones, you should always be watching the skies and watching your drone. I do have a little video. Is that what you wanted to show right now?
Yes, and Chris
Okay.
said we can't hear Dave, but I don't know if that's just because you weren't talking or not.
Well,
So
you can't hear me now?
if
That's
people that can't
interesting.
hear Dave now,
Raise your hand if you can't hear me.
raise your hand, leave a heart, leave a like and subscribe if you can't
Well, that's
hear us.
unfortunate. I've said so many wonderful things, and if people can't
Yes,
hear me,
and I
then
think the live stream is caught up. So either people have stopped paying attention, or
hmm,
Chelsea can hear Dave. Okay, so go
maybe I'm
ahead.
just a little lower.
Yeah, well,
So I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna switch to you, Nate, and then I'm
yeah,
gonna switch our video source so that you can watch this.
okay.
And then I'm gonna fire away, and there's no audio, so there shouldn't be any echo. Here we go. So you're flying along in your drone, and you go down to get low. Oh, you don't want to go too low, or you hit the water. Yeah, and a shout out to Fix.video
Yes.
for oh yeah,
Oh,
sorry. I'm uh I'm clicking the wrong buttons. So always be watching your drone if you are going to be uh, flying it in the air. So the situation was I was at this camp filming stuff, and there are sensors on my drone so that it once it gets close to the deck, it'll just stop. Well, water is transparent apparently, and it went down. It just kept going, and it slapped the water, and I fired it and it came out of the water, and I quickly maneuvered it back to me, and it spit and sputtered for a minute and then fell to the ground. However, after a quick dry out, it seemed to work fine again. So
nice. Well,
yeah,
yeah, it
it's
seems
it's
like
not
they would
lost.
incorporate that. Tree protection, water protection, all of that stuff.
Yeah, so it's fine now, but wow, what a scary video.
Oof. Okay, so we have one more on our list. Always
Okay.
be zipping. I don't know if we ever talked about that,
Hmm.
but this is something that I came across with. We've all dealt with zip files. But I had some large backups and some old iOS backups that I found they were only like, let's say 30 gigs of information, but the way,
Only.
like, yeah, in my world, in the digital hoarders world. But then on the actual disk size, depending on the file type and all this stuff, sometimes it would be like an extra 10, 15 gigs, but by zipping it up, it compresses that. So
Hmm.
always be zipping. If you have large archive files, you can zip them. They're a lot faster to transfer. Like
Mm-hmm.
if there's a folder with 50,000 files, it has to copy each one of those and send a little signal for each one. Whereas if you zip it, then it's just one file and it can move it much quicker. So,
Hmm. That always seems to be what people say to me when I'm in a meeting.
yeah,
Zip it.
zip it, be
Yeah.
quicker. But so we have a couple of letters covered. So I thought I would ask ChatGPT what
Oh.
they thought. So my original prompt was create a version of the phrase always be closing for each letter of the alphabet related to technology. And then ChatGPT says, here are versions of the phrase always be closing related to technology for each letter of the alphabet. Now, the initial one, and, and again, to the time it would take a human to think of this, I don't know if I'll read all of these, but always adapt and innovate. Be bold in your strategies. Code with confidence. Drive digital transformation. Embrace emerging technologies. Fuel your passion for tech. Go the extra mile in development. Are you
Harness.
harness?
I'm
Oh, you're doing
I'm doing hand
hand
signals.
signals. Again, if you're listening to this podcast, get over to YouTube
Yeah.
immediately.
I
So
am
I will
not.
keep going just so that you can do your hand signals.
Yeah.
Harness the power of data, invent and iterate constantly. Just keep coding. I don't know how that one. Keep evolving your skills. Lead the tech revolution. Master your craft in technology. Never stop learning. Optimize your code. Push the boundaries of possibility. Question the norms. Innovate. Redefine tech solutions. Stay agile in the digital era. Transform ideas into reality. Unleash your potential in tech. Venture into new technologies. Work smart, code smarter. Explore the X factors of tech.
I'm gonna
This
reuse
was
this one.
written before Twitter was switched to X. I don't know if
Yeah.
we can use X factors anymore.
I think the letter is copywritten now.
Yeah. Yearn for technological excellence. Zero in on tech success. And Todd says, always be not understanding the prompts, Chat GPT. And they do give you a little thing at the end. Remember, these phrases are just creative interpretations and may not align with the original meaning of always be closing in a sales context. However, they reflect the spirit of technology and its continuous advancement. So ChatGPT was just like, well, we think you were kind of asking this. We're going this direction with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah.
then
Oh
I
boy.
I refined. This is the key to ChatGPT. Which wait a second, Dave. You told me that you have tried ChatGPT now.
Yes, and so at work I have a computer that has all the security cameras in the building onto this one application. And in newer versions, uh, when you double click an icon of a video camera on the second screen, it doesn't go full screen. It just goes like small screen.
Ah,
And when you make it full screen and do all that, when you close the app and start the app again, they're all small again. So what a pain. So I have no excuse, but I am not very adept at AppleScript, which is built
oh
into the
yeah,
operating system and
no.
to many applications.
As big a Apple fans as we are, the little that the two of us, it sounds like, know about Apple script.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm learning, but I thought, oh, I'm gonna have Chat GPT write me an Apple script to enlarge or full screen windows of an application. And I got it to work partially, but not on the application that I was using. If I would try it like on Safari or text edit or something like that, it would work. But since this one has dozens of windows for the application and it's a third party, it wasn't quite working correctly. But anyway, I used it in a functional way to generate code to do something that I didn't know how to do. So, and it was successful, period, just not for the application that I wanted it to work. So, thank you, ChatGPT,
Yes.
for saving me hours of research in how to write code to do one particular thing.
Yes, yes. And Chelsea chimed in, wow, this is what the wine is doing. But so we had that one, and it was very dreamy and all over the place. And the letters, it was like, well, you got the letter in each one of the statements. But I went back to ChatGPT and I said,
Mm.
create a version of the phrase always be closing for each letter of the alphabet related to technology. Use always be and then a consumer tech term. So I dialed it in a bit and it gave me a new list.
And hold on, audience, there's only 3 or 4 more of these
Yes,
lists, so
yes.
don't worry.
Yeah, and Dave, if you could get into ChatGPT and just start asking it some questions,
Yeah,
we
this would
want to
be
go
real
for
time.
400th episode. We're going to go 400 minutes for this
Of
episode.
course.
No problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what ChatGPT had to say. Certainly, here are versions of the phrase always be closing related to technology using always be, followed by a consumer tech term for each letter of the alphabet. So, Dave, this applies to what you were just saying.
Oh, yeah?
Hey, always be automating. Apple script, a great way to do that.
Yeah, do it.
Always be browsing. Keep browsing. Oh, you're browsing. You're browsing to Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Always be customizing.
Hmm.
I like that one. You look in the settings, see if there's something that's going to make it easier for you. This this is one I take to heart. Always be downloading.
Well, it should have said always be downsizing and then doing yeah.
No, not appropriate. Uh, always be encrypting on the security side of things. That
Mm.
is a key.
I had a problem with a corrupted encrypted disk this past week, but go on.
Yes, yes. And Chelsea says, Nate, your non-tech parents are watching on YouTube TV and wanted me to let you know. So they're watching on their TV. Hi, Mom and Dad.
Hi
Welcome
guys.
in.
It was fun seeing you at Wendy's the
Hopefully,
other day.
yes. Hopefully you got to see Isla's, or else you can come back to YouTube later and watch that. So we left off on encrypting. Always be filtering. When you're doing searches, use some filters.
Hmm.
We've discussed that in the past, like on a Mac, being able to do a search and then filter it further. This one's for Jared. Always be gaming,
Always.
and this one, always be hacking.
Nah, maybe not so much.
Ethical hacking. Hey,
Yeah.
if you're like on that from just the headlines where a hacker shut down a hacking company, that's good. Always be innovative.
I had to play it since you said it.
You just had to.
Yeah.
Always be innovating.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah.
This one, always be jamming, and then in parentheses it says wireless connections. I don't
Oh
know that
no, don't do that.
anybody needs, always don't be jamming wireless
Who
connections.
are you, the CIA?
Yeah, serious.
What in the world?
Always be keyboarding, which always be using keyboard shortcuts. That can be a good
Yeah.
tip.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this one, always be logging in, never unplug from ChatGPT.
Stick it right here in the back of my head.
Yes. Always be multitasking. There's a couple studies that say multitasking, and in my own experience, when I try to multitask, it'll be 6 hours later, and I'll find that window of the important email I started, and I'm like, why
Mm-hmm.
haven't I heard back from them yet? Because I
Yeah.
never sent the email because I was doing too many things.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, always be networking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. In life and in computers.
yeah. Always be networking and sharing the Not Nerd podcast. Uh, always be optimizing. Yes. Always be personalizing. Yeah, that
And
kind of
Nate,
goes
are you
back
sure
to the.
your I was just going to ask to make sure your Backblaze isn't running again or anything like
Oh, am
that.
I getting choppy? Let's check my trip mode. Backblaze is stopped.
You're you're not choppy, but your audio and video sync are a bit. That's a little
Oh,
bit better now. So
okay.
maybe
Always
I don't
be
know.
optimizing.
We're so close. We're so close.
Yes. Always be personalizing. Always be querying search engines or ChatGPT. Why didn't it even promote itself there?
Hmm.
Uh, Always be refreshing. That, that's a good tip to refresh your
It's
page if
it's
something's
good for
going on.
drinks as well.
Yes, always be refreshing. I'll have a little drinks as we get past R.
Yeah, always be refreshing and then always be streaming.
I don't know if I'd recommend that on the from our perspective to
Yeah.
always be live streaming, but always streaming the Not Nerd podcast is a
Mm-hmm.
great idea. Always be tapping touchscreen interactions. So, yeah, I guess if you're using something with a touchscreen, you probably need to always be tapping.
Yeah,
Always be updating. We have covered that. Was that on my list?
it was. Yeah.
It was. So that is a match. We've got a match, people.
Ding
Uh,
ding. Oh, my
always
camera died. Just keep going. Don't worry about me. Don't worry
always
about me.
be always be video chatting, which it is something over the last couple years we've been doing a lot more of that. And if people are at a distance, don't always be video chatting. Get out and get some fresh air and go for a walk with somebody. Everybody, every once in a while. This one, always be waking. In parentheses, devices from sleep mode. So,
What?
middle of the night, wake up, get your laptop woken up from sleep mode. Make sure it does not go to sleep. That is an odd one. And then this next one, always be exploring, but they capitalize the X to be able to use that.
I'm
Um,
Captain
yes, in
Explorer.
parentheses, new features. Why? We're almost there. Always be YouTubing.
Yelling. Oh, YouTubing. That's a good one.
Yeah, always be YouTubing. There's a lot of good stuff. I watched many furnace and AC repair videos this week. So if anybody requests in the comments, I will add those to the show notes. If you're interested in testing voltage on a furnace transformer,
Never.
it is riveting stuff.
Hmm. Never heard of it.
And for Todd, transformer, barely newer.
Oof.
And last but not least, this is a phone in that I actually have a story already for next week about this. Always be Zooming, video conferencing. So a couple of those were a little redundant, but hey, we only came up with like a dozen of letters. So ChatGPT, kudos on that. There's some good ones in there, some questionable ethics on some of them, and then some that are just like, well, I don't know if you need to always be waking up your devices from sleep mode when
And
you
every
need to
time
use
I
them.
have to, every time I'm forced to switch to my built-in FaceTime camera, I'm always reminded just how crappy it is. Look at me.
Yeah.
I aged 30 years.
Always
Uh,
be not using your FaceTime built-in camera.
yeah, that's under F.
And and Todd, thank you, Todd. You never really appreciate how long the alphabet is until times like this.
Yes.
Yes. Well,
Well,
yes, the power of ChatGPT, but we want to do a little something extra for that. And just before we finish, we'll have some closing words, but I
hmm.
have not watched this yet. We did get a submission from Dr. RIP VHS, the Mark and Todd
Oh,
cast, a Workhoven, a bit of, I forget the notebook company, but anyways,
a
we have
real
a
piece
video.
of work.
Oh, yes, a real piece of work with an E for Workhoven. Thank you, Todd or
Yeah,
Dave, whoever.
whoever it
Sorry, let
is.
me have a little more sparkling wine while I watch for the first time Todd's submission for this episode.
All right, I have to switch to you real quick, and then I have to switch my source over here so that you can see it. People on the outside looking in, if you could only realize the amount
Yes.
of
The number of
effort.
buttons that Dave has pressed to
Yes.
make this all work.
Okay, here is Dr. RIP VHS.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you come in. I'm Dr. RIP from the popular YouTube channel Dr. RIP VHS. Wow, congratulations on 400 shows. I figured you'd be overwhelmed with activities on your live chat, so I contacted famous NPC TikToker Pinky Doll to read out the emotes as they came in. Unfortunately, Pinky Doll became famous over 2 weeks ago, which in internet time is like 1,000 years, so she is no longer relevant. But you know who is relevant? That's right, Dr. RIP VHS from the popular YouTube channel Dr. RIP VHS. So sit back, relax, grab your favorite swingers party cup, fill it with your favorite beverage, and allow me to take over where Pinky Doll left off. Pro tip. Pro tip. Picks of the week. Million with an M. Microsoft Patch Tuesday. Dave hates Facebook. Vulnerability. Vulnerability. Dave hates Facebook. Microsoft Patch Tuesday. Pro tip. Pro tip. Vulnerability. The most nonpartisan podcast on the internet. Microsoft Patch Tuesday. Pro tip. Pro tip. Vulnerability. Vulnerability. Pro tip. So congratulations on your 400th show. If there's one thing I can say about Not Nerd is that they're the most consistent tech podcast on the internet. I look forward to it every week, and I'm so glad you guys do it. It's been great getting to know you guys a little bit better. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go compile some news for the exclusive and one-of-a-kind segment we do on the Mark and Toddcast called Just the Headlines. Until next time, cheers!
Oh, Todd.
That
Why
was
do we even
amazing.
do a podcast and not just have Todd on every week? Maybe we need
Oh.
to
Sorry.
maybe
Nate,
we
you're
need
there
to
a
have-
million times. There you go.
Yes, and I'm trying to remember which episode I'm furiously typing into always be oh, yes, it was episode 100. And I'll put links to 100, 200, 300 and 400, but we did a crossover episode with
Yes.
the Mark and Toddcast. So
That was a good time.
yes, they've got a fun little podcast, and they also do Portland at the Movies. He's got all kinds of stuff, but his YouTube channel, he just got over 1 million views. So congrats to you, Todd. Dr. RIP VHS. It is very entertaining videos, but Chelsea says, I think Nate is crying, and I no, that's just sweat. It's just warm in here. The air conditioning hasn't cooled it down yet. And
It's okay to cry,
yes,
little buddy.
um, that was a real piece of work, she said.
It was. It was.
So thankful, and I'm so thankful for all the people that have contributed, all the people that have listened over the years, the people that have been on the show.
My wife, who has allowed me to slip away for
Yes.
hours at a time to do this crazy thing while she just sits and stews and plays match 3 games
Yes,
and watches YouTube videos. Oh,
And
that's
my wife and daughter that give each other a big high five when I say I'm going up to do the
Yeah,
podcast.
they're
They
like,
get a little break from the
"Bye-bye."
dad jokes.
Yeah.
But yes, very generous wives. Dave, it's been a blast doing it. I remember you said, because Isla was born 7 months after we started the podcast, and you're
yeah.
like, once you have that kid, I don't know how it's going to work out. But here we are, 400 weeks later, have not missed a week. We've had to
Not a
get
one.
creative a couple times, but
I went
400
live from
episodes.
Disneyland. Well,
Yeah,
near Disneyland.
yeah, we've
So.
done it all. We I think the only week we had to pre-record like way in advance is when I was in Uganda, which was
Mm-hmm.
a great idea because I had like 5 kilobit dial-up internet speeds the entirety
Yeah.
of my trip to Uganda back in 2018, maybe that was. But yeah,
Yeah.
um, and I wish we could just, spend another hour going over great memories of the podcast, but maybe we'll save that because ChatGPT will have taken over by the 500th. So it
Mm-hmm.
will just scan all of our old episodes and create highlight reels for us.
That's a good
Plus,
idea.
we'll have 100 more video episodes by then. So it'll just be one chopped up episode, and we won't even have to show up anymore.
That's my and then if we can figure out how to make money doing this, that's my life's work right there.
Yes, yes. And Chelsea says, Nate and I joked that Val and I should do a pick of the week, encouraging wives to get their husbands to start a podcast to get them out of their hair for a while.
Hmm. That's a
Uh,
good pick of the week.
and Chris said, the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man in the moon. This just means so much. Yes. And Chelsea, we're just going to read, as long as you guys keep YouTubing comments, I'll just keep reading them. Thanks. I was inspired by yours earlier. Val referring to Chelsea's pun.
Mm.
Uh, and Todd working consistent tech into the end of his awesome video. And Todd says, I keep holding my breath for the Oops All Spouses episode of Not Nerd. Oh, the Oops All Spouses episode.
I don't want to get all my spouses together. That would be a nightmare.
Yeah, I do not want them in the same room. And Chelsea said, great idea, Todd. And she actually said, Tood, LOL. I don't know who's been doing the drinking, but it doesn't seem like it's us. It seems like it's all the people in the live chat here. So,
Mm-hmm. Well,
how's
celebrate with your bubbly that you've got there in the
yes.
fridge. So, yeah. So, uh, next pick of the week is going to be a Sony ZV-E10 power battery
Yes, to keep your
dongle
camera going,
thing.
which works very
Yeah.
nice in my Canon M50.
Yeah.
And you guys might have noticed some weird video glitches, like this. It's not a glitch. It's just a camouflage koozie with the Sun River logo on it.
Oh,
So
that's
if you thought
blurry.
there was
Mm.
just a blank space in the middle of the video, it was my camo
I
koozie.
see. It's a good thing.
Uh,
What's going to happen when you wear a camo hat? We'll just think someone cut the top of your head off.
yes, yes. And Chris said, here's a new list of ChatGPT always bees.
Yes.
Always be wrapping up the episode for
Oh,
half an
yes.
hour.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna hit the outro music here pretty soon if you don't
Yes,
stop
yes.
reading the chat stuff.
Okay, well, we did it. We will be back next week. Outtake, live video. That doesn't happen.
I don't think that works.
We will be back next week with our regular format, all the good stuff, all the tech news. We're getting close to new iPhone time next
Mm-hmm.
month. Probably about a month from the new iPhone announcement, so that'll be coming up soon. Again, thank you everybody for listening. Thanks for sharing it with friends. We hope you all learned something every episode so you can get out there and tech better.